What is going on, everyone? My name is Jared, and today we are looking at my favorite Cydia tweaks so far for iOS 11. For a little while now, the jailbreak has been out. It has given people time to update their stuff and as well as release new stuff for the new iOS 11 jailbreak. Now, a lot of that had to do with iPhone 10 support, but see that I'm rocking not the iPhone 10. I'm going to go through some of my favorite things that I have had so far on this iOS 11 jailbreak. So first things first, in no particular order, you can see my icons don't necessarily just swipe over one to another. So there used to be a tweak called Barrel, but it's not Barrel anymore that's been updated. It is actually what's called Cylinder. So if you go into your settings app and you scroll down, you'll see all the different tweaks I have installed. So this is called Cylinder. You have enabled effects, formulas, and randomize. So basically, you can create a formula to tell it to do, I want you to do this effect and this effect and this one. I just scrolled through and I picked a bunch of different ones, and there is a bunch. I think I picked 43 out of, I think maybe 50 total. If you load them all up, it does seem to get a little weird and buggy, but so far, not too big of a deal. This tweak is great. It's super smooth. It just gives it a little pop that you don't see on a normal iPhone. So I'm going to go right down the list from here. I have this first one called Aerify. So Aerify makes it so your volume bar and things of that nature change. So what that does is, you know, if you've ever seen the normal iOS volume up and volume down, it takes up most of the screen. Well, with this tweak right here, you just get this nice little bar at the top, which is a lot less unintrusive than the normal one. You can see it when I switch it off. So that takes up a whole lot of the screen, and this just takes up a very little bit, and then it just slides up into the top. So that's pretty cool. It does look really nice on iPhone 10, and it still looks very nice on the iPhone 8 here. Next one is Artsy. So Artsy has to do with your music. What it actually does is it takes the background art from the album and changes your music player to similarly match. So I'm going to enable that real quick, and I am going to do a respring, and you will see exactly what I mean. So it matches based on colors, different effects, and things of that nature. So let's see if I go into my music. We're going to go to this right here. So you can see the background actually matches the album art. So that's pretty cool. It does a really good job on all different accounts. Let's just go to this one real quick and show you. So yeah, so basically it can duplicate or it can match colors. But you can see my volume, my sliders, all that also match the color scheme of the album art. So that's pretty cool. I like that tweak a lot. I don't use it because at first it wasn't updated. Now it has, and it seems like those bugs have worked. Okay, so I'm going to respring it and I'm going to show you it actually interfered with my favorite tweak, which is the little equalizer graph that you see in the bottom of the music player. So I can see the background art is gone, but now you see this little colorized bar right above the play. So I'm gonna let it play some music here, and you'll start seeing it move, and it can move based on a couple things with the song, but there you have it. So it starts to play. It doesn't really do anything besides give it a little bit of flair. It does show up in your control center, where I have seen it be a little temperamental in the control center. It does work, and then it also has it in your lock screen player as well. The lock screen seems to work better than the control center. But anyway, so that is called, let's get down to it. It is called MitsuhaXI or Mitsuha 11. So that's pretty cool. I really like that. It's gotten better since the beginning of the jailbreak here. and I like it a lot. So the next is going to be better CCXI. Basically, this gives you some different effects in your control center. What I mean by that is you have different modules versus having just individual buttons. You also get, you can change your music module, different sizes and whatnot, and you also get this weather module. So I really like this a lot. It changes the way you look at Control Center. Rather than having just the little 4 blocks like you normally have for your toggles, you get a bar, which I think it looks better. You also get the weather, which has a live updating background, show you the current weather, as well as a bigger music module than just the little square, as well as your normal icons, just as you normally would. So that is better, better CCXI, or better Control Center 11. We've already went over cylinder. This is Eclipse X, so this gives you a sort of system-wide dark mode, which you can toggle on and off specifically for different apps. So for right now, I have it just on in phone and messages. So instead of having the blaringly bright white light, you get something like that. And it goes through everything. It adjusts your font, it adjusts the background. Same with dialer. If you go into there, everything becomes adjusted. Instead of green, you get blue. And it's really well done. It is very nice. It does take a quick second for it to basically like activate after you load the app in for a second. But it seems to work very well in just about every application I have it turned on in. So the next is FloatingDock. So I don't know if you guys have seen the new iPads with iOS 11, but basically you got this dock on the bottom, which would show your recent or most frequently used apps, as well as your normal dock icon. So if you look down here, my dock is a little bit smaller. I have 5 icons plus 2, these 2 over here, which are the most recent. So just for example, if I open up the Google app for a second, go back home, you will see the Google app then goes down into my recent. So it does work very well both in portrait and in landscape mode. The dock is certainly a little bit smaller than I'm used to, but you get used to it, and it is nice having those last recent apps there as functionality-wise, because if you're switching back and forth, and rather than double tapping, if you forget about it, you can just go down here and be like, oh, those are the last 2 that I've used. So that's pretty cool. You can also change a lot of different things with the different icons, how big, how many icons at the most, how many recent apps or suggested apps, all that stuff, you can definitely tweak it. The next is HapticPasscode. So this is something pretty simple, but what it does is if you're using a normal passcode and not using, if you're not using the Touch ID or your Face ID in whatever it is, in whatever phone you have, this adds a little haptic vibration. It adds a little haptic feedback as you do it, both to delete and to the keys itself. And that's just nice just to know that you're tapping the button versus not. It's just kind of a little convenient feature. It doesn't really change anything, but it's cool. The next is the most inclusive, which is called MiDevice or MiDevice, whatever. There used to be one that was called Spingtomize, which used to do all this stuff, but Spingtomize hasn't been updated yet. So this is kind of taking its place, and they can change everything from hiding your sim alert to how your app switcher is. So I have it, you can slide to kill up like on the iPhone 10, hide different things in Control Center, hide the dock or make it floating dock for your icons on the bottom, folders pinch to close, change the labels, change the dots, custom size, the lock screen, you can hide the press to unlock. You could also hide many toggles on the iPhone 10. Springboard, you can hide spotlight search, the little pill on the iPhone 10, the page dots, disable uninstall. There's a lot that you can change. Custom carriers, hide all sorts of different icons if you don't want the top cluttered. Very all-inclusive sort of tweak. Basically, it's like the new Spingtomize, so I would recommend putting that in there just to tweak your interface just a little bit, make it a little more clean and nice. We already talked about Mitsuha, and now we're going to ModernXI. Now what this does is this changes the way your notifications look. And I wish I had a notification to show you, but I do not. But what it does is it does actually label when it comes in. Let me see if I can show you. Let me send myself a quick text message and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so I had to send myself an email to show you, But so there it is. So this is what the notification looks like. It gives you a little more modern design with the larger icon showing you what it is, and it also color matches whatever is shown. So if you have a call, it's going to be green. If you have a YouTube notification, that's going to be red. So it's just nice, keeps it a little bit updated. And they also have a tweak, which I haven't installed, which shows you the stacked notifications like on iOS 12. So you could check that out as well. Now let's see what else we have. Last but not least, palette, which also, okay. So I actually misspoke. Palette is the one which matches the color. ModernXI gives it the larger icon. So anyway, palette is the one that you're gonna see if you go into the Cydia package. It actually gives you notifications, which looks like that. So sorry about that. The ModernXI just gives it that large icon, which you don't see here, like next to Twitter, that just has the small one. So palette gives you the matching colors, and ModernXI gives you that larger icon. So anyway, that is my favorite tweak so far. I know I got a little confused about palette and ModernXI. I'm sorry about that. Palette gives you the matching colors, and ModernXI gives you those larger icons on your notifications. But those are my favorite. There's plenty to choose from, as well as, I didn't even talk about my theme. So to use themes, you have, the new one is Anemone. So I am using Lotus. That's the theme that I'm using right now. I really like it. It gives it a nice kind of a clean look. The icons aren't really crazy. They're not like that, like what iOS used to look like, skeuomorphism. Regardless, it gives you a nice icon pack. I like it. They constantly update it. There's very little thing that hasn't had a custom icon. And if it doesn't have a custom icon, it puts a little border, like for example, Square point of sale doesn't have a custom icon, but it just makes it blend in with all the other icons, which I think gives it a nice, unique look and feel to the device. And that is about it. Palette also affects your notification center on the left-hand side here. So anyway, that was my favorite tweaks. If you have a favorite tweak, let me know down below. Something that I haven't touched upon, something that I haven't mentioned, and something you'd like me to check out, I would be happy to do so. So thanks again, everyone, for watching. I hope you appreciated this video. I know I've been really interested in the jailbreak scene and what's been going on. It's very exciting. There should be a Cydia alternative coming up soon, so that's also very exciting. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, if you have any recommendations of things I should look at, things I should do, please leave them in the comments below, and I will see you again in the next video.